We shall be today discussing about the influence line diagram, that is a topic of structure analysis. For our basic point of consideration, we must remember that whole of the structure analysis which we have studied till now, like if I talk about the simple methods of SFD and BMD analysis, which we do in strength of materials, then we came up with the indeterminate analysis of slope deflection method, moment distribution method, which you might have studied, are basically the methods of analysis which deal with a static load. Like if you talk that for an example, that you are on a bridge, and for the analysis of bridge from the conventional method you have studied, they say that there is a point load or a uniformly distributed load placed on bridge. Find the shear force or the bending moment or the stresses at any location at any point on this structure. But for your kind information, you must analyze that you never stayed on the bridge. What you do, you start from one corner of the bridge, you pass on the bridge and get off the another corner. So what you did is that your load which you was applying, you were in a car or you were in a bike, whatever you may consider, that was actually not static on that structure. So that's a one kind of contradiction to what we studied. What we studied was not useful for that real life. So what to do now? So for now we have something what we call influence line diagram, which are used to analyze the rolling loads. Rolling load means the loads which are moving, like the bus which is moving on the bridge, which we have taken in the example, or if you may say that there is something, your car which is moving on the structure. So something is moving, and that moving load cannot be analyzed by a conventional method, or if it can be analyzed by the conventional method, it's too tedious that you have to find a shear for this location, this. So you find the maximum out of those locations. So what we do, what we have an option is, like, we go for the influence line diagram. Like if I say you, just for, I'm not getting into the concepts right now, if I say that this is your bridge, like these are the supports. These supports may be any supports, we shall be discussing it later. These are the support reaction for your bridge. And you start your bike from here and you move in this direction. So your bike will be at some position here also, and your bike will be at some position here also. So if I say you that what will be the maximum bending moment and for which of your location you will be having the maximum bending moment, by the basic analysis you know that for this position you will be having the maximum bending moment, and for these positions you will be having the maximum shear force. And how to find that? You will place, I say that the like if this was your bike and this allows a load of 50 kilonewton and this allowed a load of 100 kilonewton. So what you will say that when I am finding the maximum bending moment, I will replace all these structures, I will remove all these structures, and I will place 50 kilonewton here and 100 kilonewton here at some specific distance obviously, and you will say that I can find a bending moment very easily. Yeah, it's fine, it's very easy, because you had been through a number of problems and a number of solutions where you know that the maximum bending moment in a simply supported beam occurs at the center. But what if I say you that there is a trailer truck of 18 wheels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, say some of the combination, I am not going with the exact number, and there is some varying load over here, say 25, 30, here we have 15, 30, 45, and here you have 50. Now you will start scratching your head and find out कि सर ये कहाँ कैसे मतलब ऐसा कहीं होता है क्या? Yes, this happens. You might not have seen the big machineries which we take through the bridges from, if you say like what I have seen when I was in Haridwar, that we have BHEL and there are big machineries, big Volvo trucks of almost 28 tires carry those structures from Haridwar to Karnataka, I should say. So traveling almost all over the India, you're crossing all over India, you might be having some bridges, you might be having a number of structures. So you need to analyze something that is realistic. So let's start with, so now you know that what is the need where we were lacking in the simple analysis things. Huh? So now let's talk about the influence line diagram. When we talk about influence, it is simply that how the structure will respond. Like if I say that, let's talk about some response. When we talk about response of a structure, you definitely know what are the responses. You might get reactions, you might get shear force, you might get bending moment, you might get deflection, you might get slopes, you can get anything. These are the reactions. Reactions means when you apply something or some load, the load can be anything, moment, point load, uniformly distributed load on a structure, then the structure shows these kind of responses. It will produce some reaction, it will produce some shear force, it will produce some bending moment, some deflection and slope to counteract and balance the load you applied. So in the present discussion, we shall be restricting our discussion to these three things. We shall not be discussing these two in our influence line diagram concept. We shall be going with these two only. So should we start with reactions? Fine. So we are here with the reactions. So what we are talking about? We are talking about influence line diagram. Here the influence line diagram is having the short form of ILD. Most of the people use it. So ILD for reactions of a simply supported beam. The point to be noted here is that I am doing it for the simply supported beam. If you remember that what is the basic analysis I have done, you can do it for any of the beam. Right now I am doing something to find, what should I say, that I am doing this analysis to find something, a key which can solve all of your problems of the moving load as well as the static load. I will make sure you can do all of it. So for a simply supported beam, if I say a simply supported beam, what you have in your mind is this image. This is the beam. This is one end is having a pin support and other is having the rolling support. This rolling support can either be shown like this also, but I am not considering it right now. This is my simply supported beam. So if I say that there is a unit load 1 acting at a distance x from this support. The length of beam is L. This is support A, this is support B. So this is the basic understanding that there will be some support reaction. I will say AV, and here will be some support reaction V. So when you have two support reactions, you can find out by your basic analysis. What your basic analysis says is that if I take moment about A equal to 0, moment about A equal to 0, so you have BV into L. I must mention that for my consideration, anti-clockwise direction is going to be positive. For all my further references, so BV into L, you can see that this is a anti-clockwise motion. I can see the point, how to find out the direction of something, of force which is acting. This is the point, this is the force. Let the force move in the direction it is moving and try to bend it towards yourself. So when you bend it towards yourself, it will go like this. Can you see? It will go like this. So this is the anti-clockwise motion. So what you get in anti-clockwise is plus BV into L. And look at this force. This is going down. This is going down and towards you. This is causing clockwise motion. Clockwise. This is negative. Minus 1 into x. And this has to be equal to 0 by this basic equation. Now, what can you say that BV is equal to x by L? Can this be said? Similarly, what you can solve is that AV is equal to L minus x by L. These are the two equations which we have got for a point. So what the thing is that when this unit load is at distance x from A, there will be some support reaction x by L from here and some support reaction L minus x by L from here. Now let us see what can be done. We have two boundary conditions that either x can equal to be 0 or x is equal to L. When x equal to 0, what you say is that x equal to 0, I substitute x equal to 0 here and x equal to 0 here. So what I get is AV is equal to 1 and BV is equal to 0. Fine. And now what I say for x equal to L, that AV is equal to 0 and BV is equal to 1. How? When you substitute L here, so L minus L is 0, so AV goes 0 and L by L is 1, BV goes 1. So are we clear on it? Fine. So now what we need to remember is this result, that for reactions, whenever unit load occupies any of these positions, the reactions will change in this manner. So how can I do that? So this was my beam, the basic beam. So if I talk about the response of the reaction, so for x equal to 0, this, remember this is x equal to 0 and this is x equal to L. From this figure, x was starting from here, it is 0 here and L here. So x equal to 0, x equal to L. For x equal to 0, AV has to be 1. So this is for AV, this is for BV. So AV has to be equal to 1. And BV has to be 0 for this value. For x equal to L, this position, AV has to be 0. And BV has to be 1. So I raise it by 1. If I join it, it's not straight. And if I join it here, so I call these shapes, these are ILD, influence line diagram for AV, and this is influence line diagram for BV. Now we are done with this stuff. What we have done, we have summarized all of this analysis into these structures. Now these structures might look alien to you, like how can something like this exist? This exists. Fine. How do we analyze it? A lot of things are hypothetical when we study. These also things are hypothetical, I must say. But how to understand these? Let's say, when x equal to 0 means the load which was moving here is completely over AV, over the support A. So whole of the load will be taken by this support. Whole of the load will be taken by this support. So AV will be equal to this value, which is equal to 1. That is the applied load. And the BV at this position for x equal to 0, when the load is here, whole of the load is taken by AV and BV will be equal to 0. The same way, when the load is shifted here, whole of the load will be taken by BV and AV will be 0. So if you knock me and say, sir, if I say that my load is here at a position A, how can I find the shear forces? So what you have to do, see here. Oh, let's do an example. These are the, let's solve it with an example. Hope you are clear with it. Fine. I shall be drawing all of the things this side and calculations will be done on this side. So this is my beam, I say. And the beam is of length 10 meter. For the simplicity, we shall be making the problem complex in the later stages. You don't have to be very cozy about it. It's a very simple problem. We can do it without the ILD. we shall be increasing the level of complexity in the further classes. So if I say that this is the moving load, see, I have placed a tire. If you sit on a tire, you won't stay, you will keep on moving. The same way when the load is on tire, it will keep on moving, it won't stay at a position. So if I say that the load at a distance of 3 meters from this support, so this is support A, this is support B, and I am asked that what will be my reaction AB and what will be my reaction BB for this loading condition. So what will I do is, I will draw the influence line diagram for reaction of A. Reaction of A was getting unity here and then 0, and ILD for reaction of BB was getting unity here and this one. Fine. What we know is this value is 1.0, this value is 1.0, and this will remain in 1.0 if you have a simply supported beam of any length. If I convert it into 20 meter, it will still remain 1.0. If I get it of 5 meter, it will still remain 1.0, because this is what is the load. This is the reaction that has to be constant. See, because we are going with the unit loading. Further, it is said that the load which is moving is of, say, 20 kN. Find out the shear forces. Find out the reaction forces at both the supports. What will I do? Just see first and then I will be explaining. What I do, I need to find these ordinates. So for 10 meter, this is 10 meter, this distance is 3 meter, so the remaining distance has to be 7 meter. So from the basic maths which we have studied, for unitary method we are using, for 10 meter, we have a rise of 1 meter. This is x, this is y. For 10 meter x, this is y. Let's not go like this. For a 10 meter distance of a triangle, we have 1 meter of rise. So if I move 1 meter in the triangle, I have 1 by 10 meter of rise. So when I say that I move 7 meter in the triangle, I have 7 by 10 meter of the rise, which is equal to 0.7. Fine. So this value has to be 0.7. Now what I do is, this is the 10 meter. Again, let's get back to this basic problem. This is 3 meter. So again, let's go like this. When this is 10 meter, I am doing the same analysis again. For 10 meter, I have 1 rise. For 10, I have 1 rise. For 1, I have 1 by 10 rise. For 3, I have 3 by 10 rise. So this has to be 0.3. And hope you remember that this was the ILD for AV and this was ILD for BV. I won't mind if you write AV as RA or you may write BV as RB. It's fine. These terms might not be familiar to you. So what I do is, I take this load and I multiply this load with the corresponding ordinates on these ILD. So if I take this load, I have AV will be the load 20 into ordinate. I can write it like this, load into, so load is 20 and ordinate is 0.7, so this has to be 14 kilonewton. So what you got is that AV is 14 kilonewton. Now BV is 20 into 0.3, which is equal to 6 kilonewton. This is BV. Now it is a very genuine thing. आप खड़े हो और कहें कि सर क्यों इतनी बेवकूफ़ी कर रहे हो, ये तो हम वैसे ही निकाल लेते। वेरी राइट, आप वैसे ही निकाल सकते थे, पर अभी मैं आपसे कहूँ कि भाई साहब ये ना लोड मुझे ठीक नहीं लग रहा, हम इसको चेंज कर रहे हैं। तो चेंज कर रहे हैं तो आपको अरे भाई साहब फिर से शुरू करनी पड़ेगी कैलकुलेशन। क्यों? क्योंकि आप क्या कहोगे कि इसे फिर से शुरू करना पड़ेगा। तो इंस्टेड ऑफ ILD यूज करोगे, मान लीजिए जैसे मैंने 5 मीटर कर दिया तो ये 5 मीटर हो जाएगा, ये भी 5 मीटर हो जाएगा, ये भी 5 मीटर हो जाएगा, कहाँ गया ये 5 मीटर, तो ये ऑर्डिनेट सीधे सीधे 0.5 हो जाएंगे। अब आपको नई कंडीशन के लिए RA आपको AB निकालना है, तो AB हो जाएगा 20 इंटू 0.5 विच इज इक्वल टू 10 एंड सेम वे BB इज इक्वल टू 10। तो ILD ने क्या किया, ILD ने आपका काम आसान कर दिया। जैसे आपके पास एक डायग्राम है, आप उसके ऑर्डिनेट से लोड को मल्टीप्लाई करना है, ऑर्डिनेट हर जगह अलग अलग मिलेगा, ये बात आपको ध्यान रखनी है कि ऑर्डिनेट हर जगह अलग अलग मिलेगा। ऑर्डिनेट कैलकुलेट करना बेसिक मैथ्स है, इसमें कोई स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल्स का सिग्मा m इज इक्वल टू 0 या फिर सिग्मा v इज इक्वल टू 0 का कंसेप्ट नहीं आने वाला। तो हमने आपके सारे कंसेप्ट्स को हटा के, आप कहें कि सर ऐसा है कि मुझे सोम तो नहीं आती पर मुझे शेयर फोर्स निकालना है या मुझे रिएक्शन निकालनी है, तो मैं कहूंगा भाई साहब आप आइए ILD की क्लास में बैठिए, हम आपको ये बताएंगे कि आपको बिना कोई गणित लगाए सोम की सिर्फ बेसिक मैथ्स जो आप 6 7 में पढ़े थे उससे आप कैसे निकाल सकते हैं। व्हाट द पॉइंट। देखिए अब क्या है, तो हमने इसमें क्या किया, हमारे पास लोड था, मैंने आपको कुछ नहीं कहा कि सिग्मा m इक्वल टू 0 करो, सिग्मा v इज इक्वल टू 0 करो, मैंने ऐसा कोई कंसेप्ट यूज नहीं किया, मैंने सीधे सीधे क्या किया कि ये जो वैल्यू थी उसको इसके ऑर्डिनेट से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया। एंड दिस फिगर्स आर नॉट टफ टू रिमेंबर, दीस आर सिंपली 1 यूनिट एंड दिस इज 10, सिंपल। नाउ if you say that alright, this was still quite easy, let's get it something more, huh? Now I won't be doing that proportionation calculation again, I will be directly finding out the coordinates. Now I change the question. So this is the distance of 15 meter, and this is my load system, I am showing it separately. Moving load, this is 50 kilonewton, this is 100 kilonewton. These are not any book questions, these are what it is running through my mind right now. So this is the load condition, and I say that the distance between these two is 1 meter. Fine. This is A, this is B. I ask you, what I ask you, that see there is a center C at 7.5 meter. Fine. I say that you have a center C at 7.5 meter. Tell me the difference in the reaction forces. Tell me the difference in the reaction forces when 50 kilonewton is placed at the center and when 100 kilonewton is placed at the center. Got my point? I am repeating the question. That I say you that on the beam of 15 meter there is a center at 7.5 meter. You have to tell me the difference in reaction forces when 50 kilonewton is placed at C and when 100 kilonewton So how we do it is like, remember when I say that 50 kilonewton is placed at C, that doesn't mean that only 50 kilonewton I pick up this 50 and put it here and 100 remains here. It's not the point. This is a complete load system. I say that this is a car you may consider. So when a 50 kilonewton is here, so 50 kilonewton has to be here and 100 will be placed here. Remember? This is the basic logic. And when I say that 100 is placed at center, so the body will be moving this side, 100 will be here and 50 will be here. So what you have to do, you don't have to go into the basic strength of material concepts. Just draw the ILDs. This is ILD for AB. I'm not going to write ILD again and again, it's too boring. 1.0 and this is 1.3. This distance is 15 meter. This distance is 15 meter. Done. First thing. So let's go with the case 1. Instead of difference, let's find out just the reactions. I'm tending to just find out the reaction. So what I do is, first case is placing 50 here and 100 here in the same alignment. This distance is 1 meter. So remember this. So 15 at center, the ordinate has to be 0.5. Basic logic. If अगर आप 10 मीटर में 1 मीटर उठ रहे हैं तो 5 मीटर में आधा मीटर उठेंगे, लॉजिक है. तो 15 मीटर में 1 मीटर उठ रहे हो तो 7.5 मीटर जो आता है उसमें कितना उठोगे, आधा उठोगे. तो ये भी 0.5 मीटर हो गया. अब आप सेंटर से 1 मीटर पीछे हैं, सेंटर से 1 मीटर पीछे हैं, तो यहाँ कहीं है आप, यहाँ जब है आप तो यहाँ से आप 6.5 मीटर होंगे, क्योंकि यहाँ से ये 1 मीटर. अब गणित लगाए. 15 मीटर के लिए 1 मीटर उठ रहा है, 15 मीटर के लिए 1 मीटर उठ रहा है, तो 6.5 मीटर के लिए कितने मीटर उठेगा? ये उठेगा 0.6 अपॉन ये उठेगा 6.5 अपॉन 15. अब इधर से देखें, ये डिस्टेंस इसको कितनी पड़ेगी, यहां से पड़ेगी 8.5. तो ये कितना हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा 8.5 बाय 15. अब मेरे से कहा गया ए भी बताओ, तो आप कहेंगे कि साहब आपने बताया था कि ऑर्डिनेट जो है उसे लोड से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. तो ए बी की जब बात करेंगे तो 50 के लोड के नीचे कितना ऑर्डिनेट है, 0.5, और 100 के लोड के नीचे कितना ऑर्डिनेट है, 6.5 ऑन 15. और बीवी जो है उसके लिए कितना हो जाएगा, बीवी के 50 के ऑर्डिनेट के नीचे है 0.5 और 100 के लोड के नीचे है ऑर्डिनेट 8.5 बाय 15. इसको सॉल्व करते हैं तो यू कैन इजीली गेट ए बी एंड बीवी आउट ऑफ इट. फाइन. अब क्वेश्चन चेंज करते हैं, दूसरे पार्ट पे आते हैं. दूसरे पार्ट पे कैसे आएंगे, अब ये सब त्रिकोणमिति साफ कर देते हैं एक बार के लिए. तो या यहाँ से, ठीक है. ये सेंटर है बीम का, ये 15 मीटर है, ये उसकी आईएलडीज हैं. सो अब दूसरे पार्ट पे आते हैं. व्हाट आई डिड इज आई प्लेस 100 किलोन्यूटन हियर and I place 50 kilonewton here. This distance is again 1 meter. So this from this side has to be again 6.5 and from this side has to be again what? Sorry, this distance 8.5. This is the center ordinate has to be 0.5. And when we move this side, यहाँ से आप 8.5 आगे आएंगे तो ये ऑर्डिनेट बेसिक मैथ्स, ये हो जाएगा 8.5 बाय 15 और ये ऑर्डिनेट हो जाएगा 6.5 बाय 15. अब फिर से निकालें. अब मैं क्या कहूँगा, ए बी इज इक्वल टू 8, इधर से शुरू करेंगे तो लोड एंड द करस्पॉन्डिंग ऑर्डिनेट इज 8.5 बाय 15 प्लस 100 into corresponding ordinate is 0.5, and same way BB has to be load into corresponding ordinate, load into corresponding ordinate. So what you see that if I say that no, I am not satisfied with these two conditions, I need to get a number of conditions. So what you do is, alright, give it to us. What we have to do, we just have to find the ordinate and we will multiply it with the load. You have the reactions. So this is the utility of influence line diagram. To you, it might have seemed very easy when we were talking about a single load. But when we are talking about dual load, or if I convert into a 6 set of loads, I convert it into a UDL with the load. When I increase the complexity, I vary I don't give you simple ordinates like this 0.5. then you might feel that yes, it could not have been done very easily with those basic standard methods of sigma m is equal to 0 at some point and sigma v is equal to 0 for whole beam. So this is what I want to make you understand, that what is the importance of ILD and how we find the reaction forces. We have much to discuss, like we can also find the shear forces using the ILD, we can also find the bending moment using the ILD, we can also find the shear force at a point in a beam due to load at some other point in the beam. We can also find the bending moment at a point on a beam due to the load at some other point on the beam. So that is something for the next class. Okay, thank you.